DC Dual Force is doing something really special right now, so I wanted to dedicate a video to it. There's a digital comic book that was recently released. If you don't want absolutely anything spoiled about this, please go read it yourself. It's a really quick read, and honestly, the art in there is enough to go check it out on its own. Travis Mercer was one of the artists, or it might be the artist involved for this. I'm not exactly sure of the specific details on that, but he was at the Comic-Con event that they were recently running, and he was signing posters and stuff. Very, very cool stuff. I wish that I got my hands on one of those posters, but unfortunately, I was not able to because I'm not at Comic-Con, but it would have been awesome. Neat piece of DC Dual Force history right there, to be sure. I'll leave this comic book linked in the description, but it's just issue number 1 of DC Dual Force. So slight spoiler warning, we're going to skip to the end of this comic really quickly. Boom. You decide the end of this comic. Do Wonder Woman and the Flash win the battle, or do Batman and Cyborg carry the day? So, whichever of these two pairs of leaders have the highest win rate in July, so by the end of this month, will determine the end of this comic book. How awesome is that? We get to decide the outcome. So if you would like to contribute to this comic book with either one of those two teams, I'm going to give you a deck for each of them today with Batman and Cyborg, and one for the Flash and Wonder Woman. And again, whichever of these decks or whichever of these two leader pairings have the highest win rates, they will win in the next issue of this comic book. I think this is such a cool event and such a cool idea. Again, please go read this. I'm going to quickly blur out all of the text here so that you can't see it. I don't want to spoil it, but take a look at how awesome this art is, man. It's very, very, very cool. So the first deck that we're going to use today is Cyborg is the best. This is a Batman Cyborg list. I've played this list on the channel before. The concept is pretty straightforward. It's just a gadget deck. We're mainly building around Batman with a handful of Cyborg synergy thrown in. Cyborg acts as removal for our Batman deck, essentially, is what's happening here. But also, Cyborg can be used to push for lethal in the late game if our Batman doesn't pull through, if our gadget strategy doesn't really close out the game in the way that we want it to. Cyborg is our fallback plan to close out the game, and he does a really good job of that. Our next combination of leaders is Wonder Woman and the Flash, and I'm going to build out a specific deck for this because I don't have one built out. So we're going to build that out right now. Nice thing about Wonder Woman is that there's already kind of an established Wonder Woman shell. I'll just quickly save this and come back to this. One of my favorite decks in the game right now is Wonder Woman Green Arrow. Absolutely love this deck. I think this might be one of the strongest decks in the game, or at least a list very, very close to this. So we're essentially going to try and build this out, but with the Flash and a handful of adjustments. Because really the reason this deck works so much is because Green Arrow lets you fill in resource curve options where you would otherwise not have an option. So let's say on turn 3, you don't have a bronze card to play or you don't have a silver card to play. Green Arrow can help you find one of those options for you and be resource efficient. But with the Flash, we won't be able to do that because the Flash doesn't generate cards for it. So we're going to have to change the deck a little bit for Wonder Woman Flash. It's going to have to be a little bit more aggressive. We're going to have to close out games a little faster. I won't bore you with this process. I'm going to quickly speed this up and I'll see you in just a second. All right, I'm not sure I'm in love with this list. This definitely feels a lot weaker than our Cyborg Batman list, but this is the best I could come up with in, say, 10 or 15 minutes. Maybe with some more experimenting, we could optimize this list further. But regardless, we're going to play one game with this and one game with the Cyborg deck. Let's first start off with this deck, I think. Let's first of all equip some cool card backs and some cosmetics. Got to represent our Flash and Wonder Woman. Let's go emotes. Get a Wonder Woman emote in there. Wonder Woman emote, Flash emote. This is the most important part of the game, honestly. Boom, perfect. Oh, we're up against Lycan. I've actually only versed Lycan once before. He's running Superman Aquaman. You don't see this pairing very often. Generally, if you see a mono red deck, it's Wonder Woman Aquaman. All right, we somehow managed to draw a lot of gold cards here, but that's okay. It's pre-mulligan. Let's go ahead and mulligan our whole hand here. We want to see lots of bronze cards in this hand. We've run so many silver and bronze. There's no reason for us to keep this silver card, or else we might end up with a bricked silver hand, especially because it's steel. Steel's not like a super key card for us. Let's just redraw. Hopefully we pick up a couple bronze cards in the process. Boom, that's plenty of bronze for us. We'll go Antiope on turn 1, I think. Most likely, depending on the current board state, because he gets to go first, so maybe we want to play Iris West to clear something up if it's a particularly important card, but for the most part here, we're probably just playing Antiope. Yeah, it's just Steve, so we'll just run Antiope into that. Might even be a favor of the gods turn, probably not. Let's just go Antiope turn 1, I think. See what we draw, maybe that changes the outcome. If we get like a Steve, maybe we'd do something. No, we're just going to play Antiope. Boom! Alright, he's going Steve on Aquaman though, so he's going to be able to Aquaman on his turn 3, which normally he would have to wait until turn 4, because he's going first. There's Iris. Oh, sorry, Iris. Lois Lane. It's pretty rare that, oh, nice. He drew Lois Lane. This guy's got the god draw. Wow. Lois Lane and Superman Robot on turn 2. Holy, opponent is cooking right now. I mean, we have a pretty decent response to this, right? All right. And we have our own Superman robot, which slows down his activations next turn. What does our board clear actually look like here? Let's look. We go Iris West, we go Wonder Woman effect. We could punch here, punch here, and then we can full board clear if we want to. It requires a lot of damage being used slightly inefficiently, but I think it's important that we get rid of Iris West, and then unfortunately the opponent's going to be able to clear it up pretty easily as well, but it would require both of their activations to get past Superman robot, so I guess that's kind of good for us. Let's go Iris West, Superman robot, and then we will have to use both of our leader activations. We would have rather have not have to. Wait, is there a way that we can clear this without? So we would go punch here, punch here, punch here. Oh, we can clear it without using both activations, actually. So we can hold Wonder Woman effect. Yeah, let's do that. Let's hold Wonder Woman effect. Punch in with Wonder Woman to remove the shield, thanks to Iris West. And then flash ability to clear up the things. And then anti-ope to kill off Lois Lane. Beautiful. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Nice. And then we get the hold Wonder Woman effect for the next turn, which will be better for us in the long run, I think. Favor of the Gods is looking pretty good next turn. I figured Favor of the Gods might make sense in this deck. Oh my god, the opponent just retreated. Alright, well, it's one win in the column for the Wonder Woman Flash deck. This is Editing Willow here. Just wanted to quickly let you know that I originally planned to put a second game of Flash Wonder Woman in here, but it felt unfair that Flash Wonder Woman got a second game, but Cyborg Batman's only going to get one game. It's just kind of the state of the affairs of the Flash Wonder Woman deck. Flash Wonder Woman is either going to dominate the board incredibly early, and in the case of the game that I did show you, the opponent immediately retreated as soon as they had lost the board, because they're probably not regaining that board against my deck once they had lost their most key important cards. But as you can see in the gameplay you're watching in the background, that's not always going to be the case. If this deck loses the board, it's going to be really hard for it to come back onto the board, because it doesn't have a steady flow of new cards coming in, either from card generation or from card draw. Personally, I think decks that either win or lose the game on turn 3, more or less, are very bad in DC Dual Force. So honestly, if you want to build either one of these two decks, I would highly recommend you build the Batman Cyborg list you're about to see, because it is so much better. Either way, both deck codes are linked in the description as always. Keep being awesome and enjoy the next game. I am a huge fan of this Cyborg deck, by the way. Cyborg Batman is one of my favorite decks in the game. I will say the Flash is one of the characters I think requires quite a bit of experimentation to find like his ideal deck, and I want to do a lot of science with the character because he's just so much fun, man, especially just tied to a leader ability. Opponent missed their mulligan. I don't know if they're AFK or something, but we'll see. Mulligan everything. We'll keep Bluebird. We could have kept Utility Belt, but we got it back anyway, so perfectly calculated. Opponent missed their mulligan, so maybe they're AFK and they're I don't know, they're not going to be here for their first turn. Let's find out. No, they were here for their first turn. I don't know why they roped to their mulligan like that. Maybe they were getting a glass of water or something. Okay. I was going to play John Diggle because this isn't too frightening, but if he has Alfred or something, he can clear the John Diggle, and I really want to get value out of this John Diggle. So we're just going to go Bluebird. Hopefully it gives us a Batarang, but it's not required. Nice, we get a Batarang. 25% chance for that, and we can clear off the question. And then we have priority. We have the board, and that is nice. But the opponent has access to bronze cards in their turn. There's the Utility Belt. What does he even want off of that Utility Belt? Like, what would he grab in this situation? Tear gas, maybe? Oh. Slightly mistaken order there. Could have gone John... Oh, maybe he drew John Diggle, though. Maybe he drew John Diggle. That's probably the problem. All right, we drew Nightshade. This card is so underrated. This is one of my favorite cards in the game. Nobody talks about this card, and they absolutely should. She's really, really good. You can always just play her. Look at this situation. Normally, I wouldn't be able to play a card safely because Batman would just be able to kill off the card. But I can safely play this Nightshade knowing that she cannot be removed. I can play John Diggle behind this thing that got tear gassed. Then my own Batman effect to clear off John Diggle. I can be relatively certain that John Diggle is going to stay alive here. Well, not certain, but I can be, you know, John Diggle dying isn't guaranteed, and Nightshade is all but 100% confirmed going to be on the board next turn, which sets up for more removal options next turn and dealing whatever he sets up during his turn. There's the Batman ability. Want to use that to clear off Bluebird, I assume, so that he can eventually get to John Diggle. And there's a Throne of Atlantis. I assume he's just going to play whatever he gets. Whatever his best option is. Maybe he'll look for a Squid. Squid would be good against the Nightshade here. After he clears off the Bluebird, maybe. Goes for Narwhal. And does take that punch. So a relatively weak turn from opponent. And look at how much value this Nightshade got. Oh, we don't even have to use Nightshade for this. I think we go Sonic Cannon for the draw card. And then we go Utility Belt. We'll take a Batarang. We use the other Batarang we got to clear this off. And then we'll go face for the 7 damage right here. And look, we've still got a 3-2 Nightshade. This Nightshade's crazy, man. Look how much value this thing's getting. Now he has to use Aquaman's ability to clear off Nightshade. I mean, obviously, if he gets something like the Seahorse, he'll just use the Aquaman effect to kill off John Diggle instead. But excluding Seahorse, now he has to waste his Aquaman attack on this Nightshade. I just love Nightshade, man. She's the best. She's at 3-2 with Hidden. Why does no one respect this card? One day I will convince the community that Nightshade is good. That is my mission. Okay. Oh, that's a really good Queen Hippolyta. That might be the most value I've seen Queen Hippolyta ever get. That was really sick. That's officially a very big problem to deal with. How much damage is Cyborg doing right now? 6. So we'll use Cyborg's effect to clear off one of these. And then we'll use this beautiful Nightshade that we set up forever ago. Wait, he forgot to attack with... He forgot to attack. So a little bit of a mistake there, but that's okay. Cyborg is dealing 6. We wanted to do 7. It's kind of a problemo. Let's Batman effect first. See what we get. See if it changes anything here. I don't think it will ever change anything. We get Batarang, so we could do like... No, I don't think Batarang changes anything here. Maybe. It's a silver turn. So what we could do... Oh, no, it doesn't work the way I want it to. I mean, we're taking Batarang every time, right? So let's just do that. I mean, I guess that works. Let's go Bat Cycle here. For the extra draw card so that Cyborg's dealing an additional damage. Which is really the reason we did this. And then we'll Cyborg effect to clear this.
Time to crank things up.
We'll double attack into here. Because we need the Anglerfishers dead. We can't just let these things live. We'll Batarang this. John Diggle into the Queen to clear it. And then Robin to protect John Diggle. And then on top of protecting John Diggle, Robin's also threatening to charge up Cyborg for even more damage in the future. Nice. Nice. And next turn is a gold turn, so we can get away with some crazy Cyborg stuff. Or some crazy Batman stuff, depending on how we're feeling. God, I love this deck so much, man. This is such a fun deck. I highly recommend playing Batman Cyborg. If you're looking to change the outcome of this comic adventure, because I feel like Batman Cyborg is the easy candidate for the victor. Batman Cyborg just feels like a way more cohesive deck than Flash and Wonder Woman.
I still have a few tricks up my sleeve.
Okay. We can go Cyborg, Harvey, which is 2, then Batarang, which is another 2. So we would need to find a way to play one more card on our turn, which isn't really going to happen, I don't think. So maybe we do just have to attack into Robin to clear him. I wonder if what happens here. The attack is avoided, so I assume the attack still counts as happening for Cyborg effect. So, oh wait, does it matter? We could do Cyborg here, Harvey here. That means we need to be able to play one more card. Then we can do Batman's ability to play that one more card to kill this off. We could just let Aquaman live. We can just ignore Aquaman. So the very first, if we assume that this is the line we want to go with, this is pretty greedy, by the way, but this is the line we want to go with. We'll throw this 5 damage here for the charge immediately. We'll do this to find out what our gadget is going to be, because it's important. We need Batarang, ideally. Nice, we hit Batarang. That's perfect. And now... Oh, wait. It's just a Lucia's turn. because now we go Cyborg, Lucius, which deals 1, then Batarang, which deals 1, and then we've cleared the board. And then we can hold some of this other stuff for a future turn. Yeah, I mean, why aren't we doing that? Let's just do that. Boom. Lucius. Now our Batarangs are deal 3. And then deal 3, and then Cyborg proc. Opponent's gonna end up with a free sea creature, but I don't think we care. Boom. Boom. Beautiful. And then how much damage is Cyborg doing right now? Next turn, Cyborg's dealing 8 damage. Opponent hit Anglerfish, but we don't care because even though it's blocking this, the Aquaman, if we really want to kill Aquaman next turn, we can do it with Cyborg's effect. Unless the opponent has like 3 million bandages that I haven't been keeping track of, and then we're in trouble. Oh, why did he replace Steve for that? Oh, so that he has room for the Aquaman proc? That's ambitious. I like that. That's cool. Oh, actually, it's probably just correct. It's not even just ambitious, because I for some reason they thought he wasn't going to use Aquaman's ability this turn, but of course he is. I don't know why I assumed that. Kills off Cyborg and Aquaman. Okay, so technically he didn't have to replace Steve Trevor for this. He could have done Aquaman ability first, attack in, then Swamp Thing wouldn't get the... There's probably a way of doing it. I'm too lazy to figure it out, though. Let's think about this. What is this going to look like? Oh, it's a Batman turn for sure. It's a Batman bandage turn, maybe? How much is this? 9, 10... I don't really want to use Cyborg's ability to clear Swamp Thing. It seems unnecessary when we can just eventually one-shot Batman. Maybe this is just a setup turn, and the next turn we go crazy with Batman Cyborg? I kind of like that idea. It's a bit ambitious, though. But maybe it's okay. We can get this to 5. We just need... I mean, we can kill Swamp Thing. Man, what an interesting conundrum we're in right now. Let's see what arrow we get. Maybe the arrow changes the outcome. Boxing glove arrow? Wait, boxing glove arrow can go crazy. Wait, this is 5, 10. I mean, we can clear this if we want to. Boxing glove arrow can go crazy, actually. Let's boxing glove arrow this. And then whichever it hits, we don't mind. Whether if it hits Batman, we have a new line. Okay, it hits Cyborg. Now I think we just use Cyborg's ability to clear. I didn't want to do this before, but we can charge up now. So it's fine. So we go here for 9. Then 3 on the Swamp Thing to clear it. And then 5 to take the charge. Then Batman ability. Oh my god, I'm gonna run out of time. I need Batman tear gas, sure. Oh no, I didn't get the tear gas off. Damn it! I didn't get the tear gas off. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Okay, thankfully. Oh, opponent just passed. I assume opponent just passed either because they knew they were dead or because they had a bug. But either way, there was no way we were losing from this position, even if they did get the... There's currently a bug that randomly just kind of ends your turn. But it seems extraordinarily rare. At least I've only gotten it once, and I play this game a lot. But even if they did get that bug just now, they were losing from that position, right? There was no way they were dealing with Cyborg that turn, and Cyborg was always killing Batman. So yeah, GG. What a fun game that was. Batman Cyborg showing just how strong they are. I think they're much stronger than Flash Wonder Woman, so I assume the outcome of this comic book is going to be Cyborg Batman, but we can only wait and see. Thank you so much for watching. Keep being awesome, and I'll catch you in the next one.